What's up to all our sidekicks and henchfolk? Welcome back to the show. We're doing it.
Yeah, again.
Just because no one asked for it.
That's true. But we like doing it. At the very least, I like hanging out with you. Is that okay?
Oh, nice. That's nice.
Okay,
Sweet.
hey, that was going to be loud for the
Yeah,
viewers.
it's going to be very loud. What's up to our sidekicks and henchfolk out there in the mother-loving geek nation? Thanks for hanging out with us as we do Fresh Floppies, a show wherein Jeremy and I, JD of Johnny Destructo's Hero Complex, located at 4327 Main Street, Philadelphia, PA 19127, talk about a bevy, a slathering, a murder of comic books from this week, but with no spoilers. We pick them kind of at random. It's really just like, what do we want to read and
Those
talk about?
are words that I've literally never used in that way.
Which part? A murder of...
The murder and the bevy and the smattering?
A slathering.
That was not to say you're
books.
incorrect. It just never occurred to me to use these anyway. So,
I'm a real wordsmith.
Yep.
In that I use them wrong. Let's start off with Jessica Jones, Alias. New red band. Bwah, bwah, bwah.
Which it's red band just so they could say shit a bunch.
Yeah, there's a violence. There's
one gory-ish.
There's
page.
one violent in there.
Yeah, there's
again, not red band worthy yet. Maybe as it goes, it'll get more gruesome.
I will say, for better or worse, and I think we've had this conversation before, specifically around, actually, I think it was around the first issue of Red Hood, which rest in peace.
R.I.P. Red Hood.
I really wanted the rest of that series, but whatever. I am so unnecessarily so, I think it's a me problem, pulled out of stories when I am met with just random text symbols to replace cursing.
Yeah.
If I have to pick up red bands to see people curse and for it to feel natural, I guess I will.
Yeah.
But it feels arguably worth it to me, especially for Jessica Jones. It felt better.
It does pull me out in that I take a fraction of a second to go, what word's this?
Exactly.
There's no shitting way that you're... Wait, nope.
Yeah,
not
it
shitting.
never lines up.
Yeah.
It never works.
Yeah, sometimes there are words that I think they're supposed to be, and I'm like, that doesn't really work there. No. Anyway, yeah. So wait, were there any F-bombs in this?
No, I don't think so. It was all just shit.
Yeah, what the heck, man?
Which
Give me an
YouTube's not
F-bomb.
going to like us saying shit this many times in the beginning of a video, but...
Yeah, fuck it. So I love Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is a character who was created, I guess, 25 years ago, since it's on the front there. It says 25 years. And nice. Brian Michael Bendis created her. She was a PI. She used to be, did you know she used to be an Avenger?
I did not know that.
She was not Diamondback. I forget her name because there's already a Diamondback. But she was an Avenger and wore the spandex and had purple hair. She was a superhero.
Did not know that.
It's a retcon.
Okay.
When she was created 25 years ago, we met her like this. We met her as a grizzled, leather-wearing, bourbon-drinking private detective. And we find out through the series and flashbacks that, she was an Avenger for 3 minutes.
Interesting.
Did not go well. So, yeah, then she eventually gives up and becomes just a private detective. I don't want to say gives up. She goes through terrible trauma at the hands of the Purple Man, and
I forgot he existed.
And then becomes this grizzled, trauma-ridden detective. But anyway, she's back with the Red Band series. This is Sam Humphries and an artist who has a name, I assume. God damn it.
Is there no title page? There it is.
Geraldo Borges.
Yeah.
Geraldo? Maybe Geraldo Borges.
Oh, maybe.
What did you think of Alias? Do you have any experience with Jessica Jones?
I have. There has not been a Jessica Jones series since I started reading comics, which has been... I was actually thinking about it this morning. I've been reading comics for about as long as this current run of Batman, Superman, World's Finest, because I think that was the first thing on my pull list.
Nice.
So however long that's been.
So almost 50 months.
Something like that.
Yeah, because they're coming up on issue 50, I think, right?
Yeah, I have had no experience with Jessica Jones, so I was excited for this.
Oh, cool.
I liked it, but it was mostly the biggest things in this issue were conversations.
Yes.
And I actually thought they were pretty good conversations.
That's the thing about Brian Michael Bendis, who did not write this, but the history of the character is it is a very dialogue-heavy conversational book.
Do you think it's with the intention of being like a modernized noir type of thing? Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
That was Bendis's whole thing. When he first came onto the scene, before he was one of the top dogs at Marvel for quite a while, running all the events and all, like way too many books, he was a hard-boiled black and white detective graphic novel creator. He wrote and drew his own stuff for the longest time, and then eventually people started to catch on and gained more and more popularity, and then started writing for Marvel.
Nice.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He's the reason Luke Cage is in any of the Netflix shows. He reinvigorated Luke Cage as a character by bringing him out of the relative obscurity that he's been in for at least 10, 15 years before Bendis showed up. He just went whoop and then placed him in the forefront of a bunch of stories, and people started to really appreciate him. So he's responsible for a lot of stuff like that. Like, he'll take a character that, in the same way that Quentin Tarantino will choose older actors that maybe don't get as much love currently, Bendis did that with a few comic book characters, and he created Miles Morales.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was like, I've got biracial kids. I feel like they should have a superhero to relate to, and so he just created Miles Morales.
I love someone being in that position and be like, oh, I can fill this gap.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I thought this was fun. I really like Jessica Jones. I'm excited that she's back in a highlighted series. I had forgotten that Kingpin was the mayor, and that he was apparently married to Typhoid Mary.
Yeah, that becomes relevant in this issue.
Very relevant. And now Luke Cage, Jessica's husband, is mayor of New York City.
He's been mayor for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that I don't know if they're just telling this in this series or catching us up. I didn't know that she had to shut down her Alias investigations because of Luke being mayor.
I did not know that either. Like I said, I've had virtually no Jessica Jones experience. I think the last time I've seen Jessica Jones in a book was like for a few pages in Gang War, the Spider-Man thing, like a year or two ago. But yeah, it opens to her talking about having to give up like her investigation license or whatever it is. So that's not a spoiler, but it is pivotal to the story here, is the fact that she had to give that up.
Yeah. This is really solid. I really enjoyed this.
Me too.
I'm all in. I'm definitely going to be reading this miniseries. She's one of my favorite characters, and I'm glad to see her back.
I thought very fresh.
Yeah, fresh AF. I really like this. And Typhoid Mary is a really fun character, so her showing up and having an interaction with Jessica is really fun for me. So yeah, this is great. If you're looking for a good Red Band series to read, it's barely Red Band for me so far.
Like, I'd probably give it to like a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's scarring or...
No. But yeah, this is fresh AF.
Hell yeah.
What's next? I'll tell you. It's Imperial Guardians #1 by Dan Abnett and Marcelo Ferreira and Jay Leiston and Rachel Rosenberg and VC's Corey Petit. So, coming out of Imperial last year, John Hickman's miniseries, are a bunch of new attempts at series. Like
attempts.
Planet She-Hulk, Imperial Guardians. Do you remember there was a couple more? Oh,
isn't there a Black Panther one?
Black Panther, Intergalactic, etc. Those are all stemming out of the John Hickman Imperial series, where there was like an assassination that was headed by the Inhumans, including the big bad, Max, I think his name is.
Something like that. It's...
Got it. Maximus.
Maximus
And his brother sort of orchestrated all of Imperial. And now we're here. And the Imperial Guardians seem to be Captain Marvel, Black Hawk. No. Is that his name? Black Hawk?
No, it's Darkhawk.
Darkhawk, thank you. Darkhawk, Cosmic Ghost Rider, Amadeus Cho, and Gamora.
Yeah, it's a very interesting grouping of
Very
characters.
eclectic.
I've never seen Darkhawk in my life.
Yeah, valid.
And
He's from the 80s.
He brings that up in the book,
Yeah.
which I think is really funny.
What did you think of this? Spoiler alert, got bored and stopped reading halfway through.
And I think that's valid.
How dare you?
Don't
Don't you validate my feelings?
JD and I both didn't really love Imperial, the original miniseries. It was very, very dense. And where like in Krakoan era, Hickman had like explainer pages, which were arguably necessary. And whether or not you like them is beside the point. In Imperial, there was nothing like that.
Yeah, and I was like, I kind of need it.
And I really needed it.
Yeah.
It was pretty dense space politics. Now, maybe it's just because our brains are too smooth, so we couldn't quite pick up on it.
Like a water slide.
Yeah. So I was concerned that Imperial Guardians would be similar.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not by Hickman, so I probably should have expected differently. But that's all to say, I like this more than I thought I would.
Awesome.
There was a point where, because you and I had talked about it for like 30 seconds,
Yeah.
because you had started reading it and I hadn't yet. I did expect it to be somewhat dense. There was a point where I was like, why is it taking me so long to read this comic book? But then by the end, it was flowing a lot easier, and I did enjoy the odd pairings of these characters.
Nice.
I'm trying to figure out if I would recommend it to people that have not read Imperial, which I frankly have not.
Right.
But also I have the benefit of reading comics long enough now that I'm kind of used to just not knowing some stuff. I think it was fresh. Middle of the road fresh.
All right.
I think if you like, oh God, what's the phrase I'm looking for?
Cosmic Marvel?
Cosmic Marvel is a good thing, but also like a motley crew of superheroes. I was trying to think of the word. If
Like
you
the Guardians?
Yeah, if you like a motley crew of superheroes and you like sci-fi space stuff, I think you'd be into this and should give number 1 a shot. Maybe don't put it on your pull list until you give number 1 a shot.
Yeah.
But I would check it out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a cosmic guy. It takes a lot of work for me to get into the cosmic side of Marvel for some reason.
There's a lot there. It's not for some reason. They made it hard.
Yeah, is it not just me? Okay. Sometimes it's like the X-Men. It's like there's just too much. There's too much.
At least like the X-Men, I don't know. It's just every time I go into Cosmic Marvel, there's like people and then heroes and aliens and 3 different empires that we're worried about. And then there's also Inhumans, and then there's Celestials, and then there's just so many layers of weird hierarchy, and inside of each one there is hierarchy that I'm supposed to be aware of, and I just can't do it.
Fair. Nice. I'm the same way, I guess. Yeah. I did not finish it, so I'm not even going to rate it.
Fair.
I got bored and I went, you know what? There is something else in this stack that I'd much rather read, and that was Venom number 255, Death Spiral Part 3 of 9 by Al Ewing and Carlos Gómez, and this is just continuing the weekly series that is Death Spiral, where we've got a Venom, a Carnage, a Spider-Man, and a Torment, who's a new villain. And this is really fun. I'm digging the heck out of this book.
Me too.
I'm having a blast. I love it. I think this is pretty dang fresh. There's a sequence here with Eddie Brock's eye.
This was a hilarious sequence.
So weird.
I love
Carnage, yeah. I like Carnage and Eddie having to chat.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, Eddie, having previously been Venom and threatening to like eat people's brains and stuff like that, he's against extra violence, and he finds Carnage, who is just a serial killer, to be unpalatable.
Yeah.
And so he has melded with Carnage and is trying to keep Carnage from eating too many innocent people by sicking him on bad people, other killers. So he's like Dexter.
I've never seen Dexter.
He's a killer who kills killers.
Great.
Yeah. So this is awesome. Death Spiral.
Yeah.
I'm having a bucket of fun with this. I feel like the Spidey corner of Marvel gets so much shit, but I love MJ as Venom. It's so fun and dopey. I love Eddie as Carnage. That odd pairing, right? The odd couple. The odd couple of it all. I'm having a blast. And I love the design of Torment. He's gnarly.
I agree on all fronts. I think the Spider Corner was stuff I was for maybe like a year there. It definitely wasn't bad and didn't deserve all the shit that I got. But I will say I was keeping up with it more out of an endeavor just to keep up, especially since the Spider Corner tends to influence a lot of other things. I wanted to know what was going on.
Yeah.
But now Spider books are things I'm actively looking forward to, which has been the case since the newest Spider run restarted.
By Joe Kelly.
ASM, yeah. I
don't say the name Zeb Wells because the internet will catch on fire.
Not that bad.
It was not that bad.
I really liked the sentient Dr. Octopus arms.
Oh, I forgot about those guys.
I genuinely
the
enjoyed
globs.
those.
Oh, those guys were fun.
Those, but also when his original harness just grew a conscience and went and attached itself to Jameson.
I forgot about that. That was so fun.
I really liked it.
People hate fun. Anyway, this is also fun.
Fresh AF.
Venom, Carnage ruled. Fresh AF for me. I'm really digging it.
Fresh AF.
I'm going to do something that you didn't do, which is A Quiet Place, IDW Dark, which is his IDW, but it's their sort of horror line. IDW Dark is doing IP for different horror movies like Smile.
Oh, yeah, you talked about that the other day,
horror movie Smile has a comic book called Smile for the Camera. Number 1 just came out a couple weeks ago. This is A Quiet Place Storm Warning. And I was kind of curious, how do you make a Quiet Place comic book?
That's a great question.
Because it's very quiet. You have to be very quiet. So you can't get a lot of dialogue in a comic book, right? Is it just going to be a bunch of drawings of people you assume are being quiet?
Unless you just make the text really small to show that.
And that's true. Kind of like they do with Tombstone.
Do they make
when Tombstone talks, they'll make it very small because he's always whispering.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why he makes a jab in Venom number 255. I'm the only one who whispers. Yeah, you guys speak up. I'm the one who whispers. So A Quiet Place Storm Warning, Phil Hester, and Ryan Kelly and Lee Loffridge are doing Storm Warning, and this makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense. I was curious. Turns out it makes sense. Have you seen either Quiet Places?
Nope.
Oh. Well, at the end of Quiet Place 2, A Quieter Place, they wind up...
Is it actually
was that at... Yeah, at the end of part 2, they wind up on an island.
Is it actually called A Quieter Place?
No, I made that up.
I wouldn't put it past them.
The quietest place. They wind up on an island because the creatures in A Quiet Place can't swim. They just sink like stones.
Cool.
So you're like, oh, they made it to a safe place. However, this is where that picks up, and it tells you about that island, and it seems like it's not going to be safe for very long, is what I'll say.
I love when people pick up other IPs.
Yes.
And like you said, like honestly, telling me it makes sense is probably the best way to sell me on it. Because so much of the time it's just a matter of like, oh, let's put these characters in print and see what happens. And it's not like... It's not something that needed to happen. Yeah. But I'm glad this was good.
Yeah, if you like A Quiet Place and you're interested in that world, it's continuing. It's not like a prequel or anything like that. It picks up directly where the other one left off, which I like. Pretty fresh.
Pretty fresh?
Yeah. I wasn't like... It didn't blow my socks off.
Here's something that I did that you didn't do. X-Men Unlimited, number 1. There's always an X-Men book every week.
Hey, look.
There's usually
hold
7.
that up again.
Oh, yeah.
Is Rogue the only one facing away from us?
Oh. Yeah, I noticed that too. I thought we were going to complain about that the other half of this image is actually cover B.
Yeah.
So you have to buy 2 copies
if you want the full image.
Yeah, it's not just a matter of like issue 1, issue 2.
It's not a wraparound. No spread. That's infuriating.
Thanks for the cash grab, Marvel. But
you got the rogue butt. Yeah. The rogue butt.
Rogue butt is on cover A. I had no idea what this was going to be.
Me neither. I still don't know.
Yeah, but it's yet again the X-Men making another school, and I'm a sucker for the X-Men making another school. Nice. Except it's a psychic, not real in physical space school made by Emma Frost and
makes sense.
One of the
Cuckoos.
No, one of the newer mutants from Exceptional X-Men, and I can't remember their name.
Okay.
But that said, this actually does carry on almost directly from Exceptional X-Men, which was where Emma and Kitty were teaching a handful of new teenage X-Men.
Okay.
Is
this Eve Ewing or Al Ewing? Who wrote this?
I think it's Al.
Dead air. Oh, Eve L. Ewing and Tiago Palma and
Thank
Brian
you.
Reber and Joe Sabino.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just so eager to get my opinions that you need to know
Yes.
out into the world that I don't give credit to the
That's true.
artists. I thought this was pretty dang fresh.
Let me touch it.
If you enjoyed Exceptional X-Men, this is almost a continuation of it.
Mm-hmm.
It mainly focuses on a lot of the same characters. So if you liked Exceptional, I would absolutely pick this up. This seems to be happening a bit separately from the rest of the X books. So honestly, even if you haven't read any X for the last few months, I do actually think you could pick this up, with the exception of you just might have to learn some names, really.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it is a ethereal, non-physical school that Emma Frost has put together, and she's gathered all of the adult X-Men to be like, hey guys, we're making a school now. And Cyclops is grumpy about it, but he's always grumpy about it.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
Classic Slim.
Yeah.
I do not care for this artwork.
I like it.
Good. Yeah, great. Awesome. I think it's fine. It gets the job done.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
it's not for me.
also have to admit, I just like more lines, and there's a lot of lines here.
It's very sketchy.
Yeah, I like sketchier
little loose,
art.
little sketchy, yeah. I probably won't bother.
That's valid.
Yeah, I just there's only a certain number of X-Men I can read or care about, and right now that
And
seems to be zero, except for Uncanny. Anytime I dip into Uncanny by
Uncanny's good.
Gail Simone, I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still too many books that I'm just like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need it.
I appreciate
Right
that.
now.
You're wrong, but I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Should
Speed
we
round?
Oh, yeah.
Thunder
So
round?
we're going to do a real quickie, boy, because after DCKO came out last week, there are jumping on points for the big DC books right now. You'll see at the top a little mini title, and then this starts here, blah, blah, blah. So Superman Action Comics number 1096, The Search for Superman starts here with a storyline called Reign of the Superboys, wherein it looks like, because Superman is missing after DCKO, the other super folks are stepping up.
Yeah. A lot of people are concerned about where Superman is currently, trying to figure out where he is, what's going on.
Yeah. So Action Comics by Mark Waid and Skylar Patridge. They've been doing this for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months now at this point. Quite a while.
I love it.
They've been doing Action Comics, and they've been focusing on Superboy stories in the past in Smallville. And this is more of that.
Yeah, they've been very good, but you don't have to have read any of the Superboy stories up to this point. Like, this is, in my opinion, of the week, this is the best jumping on point that DC has provided.
Word. Nice. Still don't care for the art.
Fair.
It's kind of what keeps me away from Action. If this was if Dan Mora was drawing every issue, I'd
Mora should
probably
draw
be all in
everything.
on it because I love Mark Waid. But yeah, this is actually pretty solid. If you're looking for a place to jump on that doesn't have Superman, this is Superboy in the past, and dealing with time shenanigans.
Yeah, there's some time shenanigans, and then by the end we get a pretty good hint about what things are going to be looking like for this series moving forward, which is how the end of any comic book works.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, this is pretty good. Wasn't blown away.
For me, I really enjoyed it. I'm going fresh AF.
Fresh AF, awesome.
I've really been
Okay.
enjoying. I've been on the Superman train recently. With
Yeah.
Action Superman, I've really been enjoying both of them.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay.
Next starts here. Which one do you want to talk about?
I'll
Supergirl?
tell you, Supergirl number 11, Hero of Candor, starts here. I have been jumping in and out of Supergirl. It's only 11 issues, and I've been jumping in and out of it, mostly because I can't keep up with any book, apparently. But anytime it comes across the desk to review for the show, I'll jump on Supergirl. This is another Reign of the Superboys by
I'm looking for it right now.
Campbell.
here we
Josie?
go.
Josie Campbell?
Sophie Campbell.
Sophie, dang it. That's close.
She's writer and artist. And
Yes.
colorist is Tamra Bonvillain.
Yeah, I love Sophie Campbell. I think she's fantastic. She got her, or I first saw her stuff on a book called Wet Moon, which was an indie book from 20 years ago. And she's been writing and not drawing every issue, I don't think, but she's certainly been writing every issue and drawing some of them for the Supergirl reboot, which feels very 1970s Supergirl. It is definitely a throwback book that takes place in the now.
Nice.
But it's so fun. It's so charming. I love her artwork. it might be a little too cartoony for people, but I think it's fantastic. I like the characters that she's creating here, like the Black Flame and Lesla? Yeah, Lesla, who are characters from the bottled city of Kandor, who are they've been shrunk. And then they find out that if any of the teenagers or children from Kandor leave Kandor, they will continue to shrink into nothingness, I guess.
So, without that weird genetic mutation of shrinking, if someone from Kandor left Kandor, would they come out full size, or would they come out tiny?
They have to be, blown up.
Okay.
If they come out, they're still tiny. Still the size that they are in Kandor.
Okay.
But they have to be blown up.
But if people from the outside world go into Kandor, they shrink automatically.
They have to be shrunk to go into Kandor, as far as I'm aware.
Got it. Okay, so it's manual on both ends.
Yes.
Got it.
I might be wrong. Maybe they've changed it, but in the past it has been that way.
Got it.
So we'll see. Email us at cultpopco@gmail.com and let me know how dumb and stupid and wrong I am. What did you think of this? Supergirl number 11.
I actually didn't love it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But why?
It had an unfortunate mix of characters I didn't know or care about, while also not providing me with enough of a cliffhanger to care about the future. So I found myself not caring about the past or the future of this issue.
Fair.
It wasn't objectively bad by any means. It didn't hit me right.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Okay. What's his name?
I forget.
Lightning. Not Lightning Lad.
No. He
Thunder Child
came about in World's Finest.
Yeah, World's Finest by Mark Waid.
Yeah,
and he ties in directly to the
he's
Kingdom Come
center on
the cover.
On the cover, I can't remember what his name is.
Son of a brisket. What is his name? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Go on.
No, that was pretty much it.
It
was fresh enough for me.
Okay.
I can see how it works for some other people. It didn't quite work with me, and it didn't feel very much like a jumping on point either for me.
It feels like the wrap up of a previous storyline, or not even a wrap up because it's still going, but it does feel like it does feel like number 11 as opposed to like a number 1.
Which I will say is also the case for a couple of these quote unquote jumping on points. Is it doesn't feel like I don't need a full reboot.
Yeah.
But there needs to be a clear delineation between the story arcs if you're going to say like blah 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 starts here after a big.
This does not feel like something starts here.
No, it
feels
doesn't.
like this is the next issue after DCKO happened.
Yeah,
and we need to put that on the cover.
Pretty much.
That being said, I enjoyed it. I know more about what's going on than you do because I've jumped in here and there.
True.
But I'm curious.
Get me all of those.
Oh, the covers by Lyrics?
Yeah. Sorry, on the inside of his variant cover is a bunch of other really cool covers. Yeah. So I'm just demanding that he buys them for me.
That Wonder Woman number 31 looks great.
No, they're good. Sorry. Carry on with your relevant thought.
Okay, cool. This was really fun. I like Supergirl. This is a blast, and it's more of that.
How fresh?
Pretty dang fresh.
Good.
What do you got?
I also read Green Lantern Corps, which Guy Gardner, Born Again, ? Starts here, ! This did not feel like a jumping on point to me. I have read none of this Green Lantern Corps series. I've also read virtually no Green Lantern ever.
Okay.
So that's the perspective I'm coming from, just for a full disclaimer. I was telling this to JD earlier. I feel like the Green Lantern lore it runs so deep that it's almost impossible to have a jumping on point without like shrinking everything down to just be focused on one person kind of. This is dealing with the fact that I can't even remember what these are called. There's like emotional entities in the universe that have died and been reborn and exclusively exist in Guy Gardner's head.
Wow.
So where basically the issue is dealing with what is that? Why is it happening? How do we fix this? And because of those things, he is basically being revered as effectively like a prophet of sorts.
Yeah. Is he still a jerk?
A little bit.
Okay. That's kind of his whole thing.
Yeah. And then by the end, it's kind of another like, let's form a motley crew to solve this problem type of deal. This was fine for me. somebody who is obviously already on the series, I'm sure this makes a lot more sense, or somebody who has some previous Green Lantern experience, especially like in the big wide universe of Green Lantern, this was probably better. I like the art. The writing and the dialogue and the story was good enough. It just didn't stick with me because it didn't feel like somebody could jump on here without context, because I didn't have context. And by the end, I was still confused and didn't really want to read the next issue.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I didn't bother with it. I generally don't care about Green Lanterns much these days.
And it's written by Morgan Hampton, art by Fernando Pasarin and Eau Claire Albert.
Cool.
Well, I'll put those names on screen.
Wonderful. Is there anything else?
Last one. Emperor Aquaman number 15 carries on from Aquaman, but now they're just, for the full title is Emperor Aquaman, which I'm
also
okay
it's actually called Emperor Aquaman. It's not just Aquaman, Emperor Aquaman. They've changed the title of the book to Emperor Aquaman.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing with Titans, where it's New Titans, but it's the same numbering.
Fuck.
This is written by Jeremy Adams, art by John Timms.
Those are both pretty good guys.
This is probably, in my opinion, the second best jumping on point of the DC stuff this week. We're very clearly wrapping up a story arc here. Aquaman was trapped in some pocket of the blue by...
there's a blue now.
Yeah, there's a blue.
So there's the red, which is animals. There's the green, which is plants. And now we've decided there's the blue. Okay. Which may be old. I've just never heard of it.
Which, as someone who knows a bit more about comics, are these colors are they just like vibes? Is it like...
They are... Like the green is run by the Parliament of Trees. And it is a network all over the world of plant life.
Got it.
And then the red is the rot, which is a connection of like dead animals, humans and animals. Yeah. Meat.
And then the blue is basically water. The oceans on Earth and off.
Which makes sense. You know, I'm not poo-pooing it, but I was just like, I'd never heard of the blue, but of course there would be a blue, right?
Yeah. So this is basically Aquaman has been through some crap and he has to self-motivate to try to fix crap. And return to Atlantis, who also has seemingly been through some crap. Again, this is my first issue, so I actually don't really know. They don't do a fantastic job of explaining what's happened up until this point, but what they do is there's a pretty decent transition from here's the last story arc wrapping up to here's the beginning of the next one.
Okay.
So I would say this is a decent jumping on point. I'd say pretty fresh.
Okay.
If you're interested in Aquaman and want to try to pick it up, I think this is a fine place to do it. It seems like he's about to do some cool stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I've tried Aquaman over the years and I never care.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Jeff Johns was writing it, I enjoyed it, but then I fell off anyway.
Yeah.
It's not my guy. Is there anything else you're looking forward to this week?
Well, there's an absolute Batman this week that neither of us read yet, which I'm
going to read the heck out of that, of course.
Gotham City Sirens, another issue. Sirens Love Hurts is the actual title.
Yeah.
Issue 1, I loved. It was great. Some awesome character interactions. I'm looking forward to issue 2 this week.
And Comics the Magazine makes its debut. Was it last week or this week? I don't remember. But Comics the Magazine is coming out, or is out now. And it's, if you remember Wizard Magazine of the days of old and the before times, the long, long ago, This is another one. This is another like a attempt to have hopefully monthly. I don't know if it's monthly or quarterly, but Comics the Magazine.
So for those of us who don't have experience, is it like news or catalog or?
It is articles. It is a mailbag. It's how to make Absolute Batman. So it's interviews with a bunch of different creators. How to make Absolute Catwoman. Ronda Rousey interview, because I guess she's got a comic book coming out. MMA superstar discusses the creation of her graphic novel.
Okay.
And then a look back on Rick Veitch's Swamp Thing. So it is a little bit of a little bit of news and some articles. Comics Roundtable, where classic universes and creator-owned wonders. A discussion with Scotty Young, Kyle Higgins, conducted by Tony Fleece.
Nice.
So yeah.
I will say the chaotic layout of this book does feel kind of nostalgic.
Yeah, it does have an old throwback feel to it. How did we get here? A brief history on fanzines.
Okay.
So yeah, this could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to have a magazine again. I'm tired of reading articles on the internet, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, and then they've got picks, like Comics, the magazine picks, ultra biased pick, Lobo #1.
Ultra biased. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of fun. I'm excited. Oh, and there's like how to draw, a little 2-pager on how to draw stuff. Yeah, pretty cool.
Nice.
That's what I'm excited about. All right. So Wednesday nights we do a live stream, and this Wednesday we're actually going to be doing The Bride, directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. It's a reimagining of The Bride of Frankenstein, and it's very divisive right now. People either hate it or hate it.
Classic.
There seems to be a lot of hate. But did we hate it? I don't know. Hang out with us and find out. And that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll talk at you later.
Thanks, Dinkies.